G'day folks, Pat Callanan here. Well, one of the most important parts of building the ultimate 4x4 was surely building the ultimate 4x4 beer system. Now, you might have seen my previous video on building a beer keg system for your 4x4, and that was brilliant, worked absolutely beautifully, and it was a nice simple little system. But it had one rather major deficiency, and that was the fact that because I was using mini kegs and microbrewery beer that was unpasteurized, I could only really carry around about 10 litres of beer in two 5-litre mini kegs. So I've been thinking long and hard about how I could better that system, and I think I might have done it. You see, the trick here is to have the beer warm, if it can be warm, and then to chill it on the way through the fridge. And that allows us to have a lot bigger capacity. How much bigger? Well, kind of 5 times bigger. Let me show you what I've got. So, behind here, folks, is a 50-litre commercial beer keg and a 2.6 kilogram CO2 canister. So, in terms of capacity, we're talking about, I think it is something in the vicinity of 6 cases of beer, or I think it's 255 pots of beer. Now, that's pretty cool, I'm sure you'd agree. But the trick here is that this is commercial beer. So this is beer that, you know, has been pasteurized. So it can stay warm in there as long as it's chilled as it comes through and it's cold enough to drink, comes through your 12-volt fridge. So how do I chill all of that beer? Well, that is the interesting part, and it all happens in here. Basically, I've got a single line that runs from the top of the keg into the back of my 12-volt fridge. So I've had to drill a hole in the back of the fridge and another hole in the front of the fridge. And inside the fridge, well, that is where all the chilling happens. So what we've done here is we've got 6 meters worth of 6.3 millimeter by 9.5 millimeter beer tube. Now that's important because I've tried with less than that and it doesn't work. Your beer will be very frothy by the time it comes out. So you've got to have between 4 and 6 meters of that line, and you just run that around the bottom of your fridge. Then I run it through a chiller plate. Now the beauty of this chiller plate is it's essentially a block of aluminium with around about 12 meters worth of tube running through it. So zigzagging, crisscrossing all the way through there, so that beer chills down very, very quickly when it hits the alloy inside there. And then just for a bit of additional chilling, I've also put a chiller coil in there as well. So this one's a double chiller coil, and I would guess that there'd be at least another 2 or 3 meters worth of chilled alloy line in there as well. So it's got plenty of opportunity to chill down before it comes out the tap itself. Now the beauty of this setup is because our beer is only being chilled in the fridge, this allows us to use our fridge as a fridge. So we can still store a whole lot of food in here. This is barely taking up, I'd say, about 1/8 of the fridge capacity. So we've still got all that fridge capacity open to throwing our regular groceries in there. Are there limitations to it? Well, yeah, for sure there are. One of those limitations is the fact that you really can't pour beer permanently out of it. So I could get around about, I'd say about 4 pretty decent sized schooners out of it before it starts getting a little bit frothy. So generally speaking, if there's just 2 or 3 people having beers, you will pour those 3 beers, 4 beers, and then by the time you're up for your next beer, it will have chilled down completely. But if you are having a party, a bit of a get together, if you filled the bottom half of your fridge up with ice and sort of, you know, sloshy, mushy ice and water and that sort of stuff, it will chill down far quicker because you've got that slush basically touching all of the lines there and enveloping it. So that means that you're going to chill down your beer much, much quicker, and you can pretty much pour your beer permanently without it going frothy. So this really is an incredible setup. I absolutely love it. I have taken it across Australia already and it works brilliantly. I even got a little customized tap head made as well, and you can see for yourself just how well it pours. So the sort of tap that I've used here is one of these adjustable ones. The reason I do that is because if that gets knocked in the back of my vehicle, if that's turned off, then I won't have beer pouring out over four-wheel drive tracks around the countryside. So I just put it out to about there, and then we pour. And the first one usually is a little bit frothy, but you can see there that that's settling down fairly quickly. Not bad for the first pour after quite a while. So then we just top him up, and would you look at that, folks? One glorious beer. Cheers.